Hey guys, good morning from Washington, D.C. on a the craziest day at the White House of the year, the White House Easter egg roll. This is a day when about 10 to 20 or 30,000 kids go onto the White House, roll wooden Easter eggs around, see the Easter Bunny, yada yada. Now, I was credentialed into the White House for later today for a press briefing, but I was not credentialed onto the South Lawn for the Easter egg roll. That happens. A lot of photographers didn't make it today. So I'll be showing you from outside some of the chaos, and we'll go wander around the rest of D.C. and see what's going on. Like the Federal Reserve Building, which is being torn up right here. Let's go take a look at that before we walk over to the White House. All right, guys, as you can see, this is the old Department of the Interior building. It was bought by the Federal Reserve, and they're going to expand into this building, but boy, are they really tearing it up. I mean, they're blowing some holes in the side here. They tore down a little bit of that side. I think they're going to make an atrium out on this whole section. Now, the main Federal Reserve building is over there. It's also under renovation and repair, but not to the extent of this old Department of the Interior building where they're really doing a number on it. See from this angle, they just basically just emptied out those halls. There's not much left besides a facade over here on this angle of the building. Maybe this part was more damaged, I'm not sure. Anyway, they're doing this renovation. Sometime next year or the year after, I think they're going to be finished with both buildings. Let's go over to the White House. Look at the lines. Tens of thousands of people are going in today. Look at this chaos up there. Look at all those kids. What a mess. Where's the bunny rabbit? There he is. With the bunny. There they go. You see an armored personnel carrier. That's a Bearcat. That's one of the Park Police's emergency response units. In fact, that's one of the, I think those are FBI designed. The FBI ordered a bunch of those pickup trucks, and a bunch of other agencies in DC bought them, including Capitol Hill Police. There is a DC fire ambulance, mini ambulance. They're ready for just about anything, you know, from terrorist attack to gangs of sugar-crazed kids going absolutely mental. So that's the DC Fire event ambulance. They have those at all the big protests and stuff. They can actually transport in that little gator. They've got a stretcher in the back. Bring them out to a big ambulance from events like this. So we're in Lafayette Park now in front of the White House. These are all cabinet secretaries, and they're mini motorcades. They're all attending the events at the Easter egg roll, and they put their motorcades out here. Don't know which cabinet secretaries are here, but quite a few, I imagine. Maybe some congressmen as well. Quiet here on the north lawn. Not a lot down the south lawn. It's insane. All right, let's go wander down here by these buses. You see the Marine bus pulling out. Air Force is here, Army. All the services have brought their military bands to perform today. So this is part of St. John's Church. St. John's Church is right over there. This is the church that you saw in the Trump Bible photo and the George Floyd protest. But this little building in the back, the parish offices and house, this is Lord Ashburton's house, also known as the British Legation. In the early 1800s, this was the British Embassy, for lack of a better word. And Lord Ashburton and Webster were the guys who handled out the Webster-Ashburton Treaty, which set the borders between the U.S. and Canada. So about 200 years ago, heavy negotiations going on here. What is the U.S.? What is Canada? Cool. A few more famous houses over there. Let's go walk over that way. So over there, that is Dolly Madison's house. That's where President Madison's widow lived. I think James Madison lived there for a while too. That was also the first headquarters of NASA, and that's where the Mercury 7 astronauts were introduced to the public in the dining room of that house. So guys, this is McPherson Square Park, and as you can see, it's being revitalized with wood chips and new grass and, well, all sorts of new flowers, just no people. You see, they closed off this park so that they could get rid of all the homeless that had set up camp here. There were about 60 tents here, over 100 people living here. The people have been pushed off into other parks while they clean up this one, and they're probably not going to let the homeless come back. Though one guy is already set up at the gates. So we're heading to the White House, but before that, we're going to get something to eat. We're going to hear. Okay guys, we're in the White House grounds. We're going to go into this press briefing. I need to take about 10 photos and then I'm done. I got a client over in Europe, I think, who wants photos prior to the trip tomorrow. Let's swing over there. You can see the guys walking on the roof, watching all the Easter egg insanity. Pretty quiet over here. Not in the Oval right now. I think I'm still before the briefing. The briefing starts at 2 o'clock, and they always run late, so probably going to be okay going in this main door if there's nothing going on. Yeah, it's quiet.
How funny.
Sit. Okay, silence.
You question. Is that Sean?
Comment on the Trump indictments? We've turned the South Lawn of the White House into a school community where 30,000 people from across the country will participate in one of the White House most cherished traditions. This year's theme is Egg-ucation, and we're reminding families that education can be fun and that it never stops. So I hope that some of you had the opportunity to get out there and hop on it. Sorry, my team wrote that. Apologies.
Life in America, and he'll tour Carlingford Castle. On Wednesday night, the president will spend the night in Dublin. On Thursday, he will meet with President Higgins of Ireland and participate in a tree planting ceremony and ringing of the peace bell. Secretary Blinken over there, the whole purpose of that trip was to restore some of those additional lines of communication that are still closed after Speaker Pelosi's visit. The mill-to-mill lines, the climate change lines, that was what Secretary Blinken was heading over there to do, and we'd like to see him get back on.
Has an enforcement discretion and they could ignore this. You disagree with that?
So what I'm saying is there is a process in place for appealing this type of decision, and we will pursue that process vigorously. That's what the American people can count on from the Biden-Harris administration, and do everything that we can to prevail in the courts. That's the commitment that we have.
Okay, press briefing basically over, yeah? Got my photos. A lot of questions today about Ukraine, a lot of questions about Taiwan, a few questions about Ireland. That was ostensibly the purpose of him coming today, was to talk about the Ireland trip. That's why I was taking photographs. Go figure. So out here are the sticks in case anyone comes out to make a press conference, but I don't think there's anybody inside today. He's leaving early tomorrow morning. We've just been told. We just got wind of that he's leaving early. Some motorcade over there. Yeah. All right, let's head out of here. I loaded up on Skittles. I grabbed a whole bunch of Skittles from the Easter Bunny thing. God, I still got music going on back there. Yeah, you guys can hear it. Okay. Well, we're not going to be back here for about a week or two. There's not much going on with him in Ireland, so we'll check out and go see some other parts of DC this week. I scored big. Okay guys, we have left the White House. We have put on our baseball hat and taken off our sweater. We're now down at Foggy Bottom, George Washington, where a suspicious package has just been found on the subway tracks. Pretty big fire and police presence. Let's go take a look. Now, if you remember, this is the intersection, and that's the loading dock where we found the guy who was shot last week. But now, back, this is 24th Street, but over on 23rd Street, we now have another emergency. Let's go take a peek. Okay. Lots of cops. Oh, wow. Oh, wow, they're here. That is the military's special communication vehicle. National Guard brings that out with the FBI. Okay, this is a sort of a terrorism task force vehicle, I think. So we'll have to see what's going on. So, pretty interesting reply set up here.
Fire engine.
Okay, guys, that is Easter Monday in Washington. I know Easter's on a Sunday, but sometimes it's on a Monday too, yeah? Tomorrow, Biden is on a plane to Ireland early in the morning. I will show you around the rest of the city, and we'll find something cool to show you. All right, thanks for watching. Bye now.